So here's another RVC240 Rotel, which has had daft things done to it, and the dealer is struggling to get it back to working order. And one of the snags, of course, is that a lot of these illegal modifications end up killing the set. So you've not only got to remove the illegal modification, you've got to find out what killed the set. So I'm not surprised. There is another one after this, but we'll do a couple of other sets from somewhere else. I'm not going to do Rotel 240 after Rotel 240. We've got a Midland 3001, but we did one of those a few sets back. So I think there's one or two other things coming. I know there's a Lake 950 Manxman, which is a great chassis. So the first thing we need to look at is what's happened around the phase lock loop chip. Yeah, look. Yes. Again, somebody else's eyes on it. We've got a cut track there. So we need to bridge that gap with the Cadbury snack, as they say. If this is all that's wrong with it, we're not going to charge him the full amount for the exploratory work. It'll just be a £3 supplement. So let's see if we can find a couple of strands of, oh, there's some wire we use on pipe organs when it's electric action. Good. Now I might have a fighting chance. So I don't know what the symptom was and whether he's been able to do any of the tuning. I'll just put that to that position. Crystal filter put in, and we just have to hope that it's been not just shoved in but terminated correctly. We'll see what the performance is like. I've no problem with that staying. Get that into position so you can actually see what we're talking about. Crystal filter just there. Look, great big spider behind me, above the monitor in front of me. Oh, it must be one leg to the other, must be 2 inches plus. Our Lady Vicar is scared of spiders, but then she comes from a country where they have big spiders. Right, let's put this camera back into its normal position. Crystal filter. So with the standard replacement mic, I'm going to plug the speaker mounted on the wall into public address, and then we'll plug the test instrument speakers into extension speaker socket. And here goes. We're on the 3-watt scale. We're going to have to do the VCO first, of course. Power on, 13.8 volts, and off we go. No display. Public address, testing 1 2. That's fine. Has it got channel 9? Oh, I can see channel 9 on the display. Okay. So let's see whether it's transmitting. It's not. Is it 68125 if it's channel 9? Rings a bell. So I would suspect that the channel 9 switch has been used to switch between naughtiness and reality, and that's not got rewired correctly. So I've no idea what channel we're on, of course. I'll tell you what, we'll try and get the VCO to lock on channel 9. Just so we know where we're going. So using that earthing strap there, we'll connect that to our negative, and far side of resistor 4. See if we can get any VCO lock at all. Non-transmit. Okay, so we've got no sign of any VCO lock at all. So I think we'll check if we've got 5 volts on the IC. We'd best do that from underneath. I think that's pin 1. So this looks like we're going to have another situation where we're going to have to look at how this is wired. So what's been messed with? I can see we've got the remains of a chopped off wire, which is an orange wire. So down at the bottom of the switch there should be an orange wire. So just wonder if it's lurking have a look for orange wires. So the fact that's missing may somehow power up the VCO, I don't know. Now we've still got some of the Rotel information in front of me because we only did it the other day. So in channel 9 mode we should have .43 connecting to the channel 9 pin of the chip. So channel 9 pin of the chip you know what, I think it's, do you know what, I think it's 9 to, can't be. Well, I think that it's been removed. We're going to get another set out. Not one of his. So here we have a non-working to Rotel 240, which has seen better days when you look at its front. It's got dropped and cracked, hasn't it? And it's a non-worker because Mark's labelled it as such. So we'll take the lids off ours. I'll remember ours is the non-brush coated painted one. So there was a diode, wasn't there, on this other set, which I'm working on. There isn't on this. So we can have a look at some obvious differences. So brown to there, grey to there, red and white, blue, that's absolutely as this one is. So we'll look down at the channel 9 switch. We do have that orange wire. And it goes to the display board. So we haven't got just going to check the display board. Other than that, we've got another orange one, we've got a red one, black one, yellow, red, black, yellow. So we've got that orange wire is totally missing on his set. This may not fix it, but it's going to be, I would think this may restore the display when in normal mode. We might see what the channels are. That's a scrap set, so we'll pinch an orange wire. And then we've got a genuine Cybernet orange wire. This is our business model, having one of each set ever made for the UK market, so that we can do unbutchering. Now can we get down to that switch? Not really. Just going to have to take the front off, aren't we? Funny how it's often the better sets that get butchered. Oh, let's have a really good set and then butcher it so it's a rubbish set, so it doesn't work ever again. It's like butchering a Rolls Royce instead of a Austin Mini Metro. I'm showing my age, aren't I? Don't know how much of the front panel we can actually undo. There might be enough access. I think possibly the best course of action is to take the switch out, so we're not melting other wires. It's going to be a long video, isn't it? Watching me unscrew switches and loose screws. That went on the floor. In Nottingham, that's known as the dog shelf. The floor is the dog shelf. Okay, and this also enables us to look at the other wires You know what, I'm just going to cut that off. I'm not spending hours right. That orange wire. So we've got orange, black, yellow and white. Orange, black, yellow and white. On the other side we've got brown, white and brown by the looks of it. No, it could be brown, white and grey. I'll just push them apart a bit. Brown, white and grey. That's it. And the other side, brown, white and grey. So that's all that's actually missing. So we'll pop that switch back in, secure it with the one screw we've still got, worry about the other screw later. Another reason to have scrap sets. we go. So we'll put that over there, wherever it goes. And wherever it goes is there. Are we actually sure it's there? Right, so we'll put my set to one side. Make sure there's nothing underneath. Power this back up. So we've got channel 9 on because we've got the channel 9 switch on, and now we've got the channel switch, the channel display back. Good. Now, am I expecting the VCO to do anything now? No, I'm not, because I don't think that has any connection whatsoever with the way the VCO is going to set. Well, we set it on channel 40 on these sets. So, let's see what happens. So I'll just start with receive. There's nothing there, and it's not going to be on transmit either if I plug the mic in. Especially when I hold it on the test point. Now, so we have another anomaly. So that's two problems. I'll pause the video and have a little look. 15 seconds later, I've had a little look, and I've just gone across some of these with the multimeter. That looks a bit iffy, and in fact there's a track crack just there. So back with my piece of organ wire. So that's three faults we've discovered caused by the butcher. Let's see what if we've got any kind of VCO voltage now. So we're on channel 40 still. not connected to earth. Now look at that, folks. Huh, that's a different reading, isn't it? So we've been able to set receive. So go into transmit, just put the test set into transmit. We'd hate to blow it up. There we go. Well, it's not transmitting, by the way, but it's doing the VCO. So there we are. Let's just check it on channel 1. I think it's supposed to be 3 volts, isn't it, and not 4, but that's immaterial. So I wonder if we now have a lock on channel 9. We do. Can we hear anything on channel 9? You know what, we're not on the test gear, we're on the aerial. So yay! Let's go back to channel 40. We now have transmit, so it's doing 3 watts. Well, so that was 3 reasons we'd got the anomaly we had. I'll just run through this transmitter, and after all that, take a break. I think we've gone beyond morning coffee. Get a sheet of paper out. And again, that's why we have this business model of having one of each set. So, 8's the 5th. So we've not adjusted anything, so it's I'll go to channel 20 just to make these things fair. So we won't have been able to tune anything, so we're doing 3.1 watts. We're doing 2.9 watts. And we're doing 3.1 watts. On low power, anyone know which a switch is? That's why I don't like these. I really don't like loads of switches on CBs. It's doing very good, 580 milliwatts. Let's go back to normal, which is second switching, 10 control works. Transmitted audio, Wallow. Need to be on channel 20, don't we? Wallow, it's doing 2.8 kilohertz. If that's reading right. And if we just put that meter back to its normal position, which it isn't, put picture in picture on. Go. What else were we looking for? I'll come back to that. So frequency, let's put that up on the screen. 277983. Not stupidly out. And now let's look at receive. So we'll set that for 2779 something near. I'll take it off frequency because the radio is off frequency. I'll go to 085. Put the SINAD meter on. We'll go up to the SINAD meter and see what it's doing. Just check these. Just check RF gains at full. I'll tell you what, it's absolutely fine. After all that, it's doing 0.26 microvolts. .23 microvolts. And for 20, 0.68 microvolts. Squelch at full. Isn't that far out. It's 130 microvolts, and there's no hard and fast rule on this. I just like it to be 100. See where we are on sensitivity. Set squelch. Signal generator back on. Straight in. It's 0.3. Pressing transmit. Looking at the meter. It bangs across. So we put full scale deflection. For 100 microvolts, we've got full scale deflection. Meter lamp works. All these now work. We haven't tested the speaker. TX current 1.058. Excellent. Well, that's a good start, folks. So no components, just silliness. Change scales. Check we're still on channel 20. Do the next bit quickly because we're going to take the transmitter beyond its design power, and that can cause it to die. So, maximum on this one brings us to 4.5 watts. Maximum on this one brings us to 4.61. Maximum on this one brings us just about to 5. Check them once again. Do not key up constantly. It will overheat. Back check that one. Yeah. So we're now, and for those of you who think it's clever to go over power, do not leave it up there, or it will last about 5 minutes. So we need to drop this by turning this one clockwise till we get to 4.4 watts, and then we need to turn the green one anti-clockwise. The manual says for 3.8 watts, but we want everything we're entitled to, so it's 4 watts. We don't have to get it through customs, and I've not shown you the right meter, so all the time I was doing that. So just to show you, there's the 5 watts and here's the 4 watts. While we're at it, we'll do the low power, which is 400 milliwatts. It's well over the top. Have I not switched to low power? No. Which switch have I pressed? Tone. Let's try that one. Well, where I have guessed it to is spot on. 400 milliwatts. So we've got 4 watts, 400 milliwatts. Let's just get that on channel 40. The power is 3.8. Might want balancing better. Power is, that's alright, 4.05. So, where are we now? Meter. So go back to channel 20. I've just done that wrongly, haven't I? We were in low power. So, channel 1, 40. We've stabilised to slightly high, so just as it's cooled down. So back to 4 watts. Channel 40, or try again. It's now 4.05 watts. Channel 1 is 4 watts. Right, back to channel 20. Power meter bangs across. So let's unbang that. There we go. Deviation we'll have to do on the other test set. So it was reading 2.8 on this one, but I don't trust it. So we'll just go over to the other one, which is a quartz lock. (282A). One of the problems with the quartz lock test set is on receive the signal generator doesn't go under 88 megs. Obviously made for business radio, as they all are. But on transmit it does cover greater width. While it's actually reading 3.2 on the more accurate trustworthy meter. So I've already set that to centre. Let's get that adjusted. Wow. There we go. So I can turn that off and save some electricity. I've got the meter reading for the repeater we have, GB3GR. Well, I took the meter reading and we've used, what was it, 129 kilowatts hours, whatever it was. We've used, I think we used 135 last year, and we've used 129 this year, so it's a little bit less usage, but I'll tell you what, it's £10 more that I'll need to pay the site owner. Right, so we'll come back to this. I'll take a break. Right, so I'm back and it's time to move on to the receive. You know what, I think we can put these, I think we can put some of the front on. I knew I untightened one of those. Let's put that. Ah, we've got that missing screw to deal with, yes. Pinches off a ruined York 863. So I find the best thing here is to load the screw onto the screwdriver and hold it like that. Now where did I put the front? Oh, that's nice and clean anyway, that. Always be careful not to over tighten these little countersunk screws. They're just to hold it in place. Nothing worse than seeing all the tabs snapped off. This set may have a lot of wear on it. You know what, if that case lid was refinished nicely, it'd be a very nice set. Especially as it's receiving exceptionally well. Tell you what we can do, and that's unplug the public address speaker. Right, we'll move on to receive. And now the radio. Did we put the radio on frequency? I can't remember. No, we didn't. It's there somewhere. Change his glasses. Ah, there it is. The trimmer capacitor has been changed. Actually, it's a better quality one. Wrong way. Always the wrong way. Oh dear. It ain't gonna go. So do get. It's not stupidly out, but I'd like it a bit better than this. So we have to change the reference crystal on it. We don't have to, it's not out of spec, but I just think it's far enough out to, but trying to find a crystal that works is another question. We buy these new ones from China, and most of them are out of spec. But they're cheap enough I only need to get one out of the bag to be a worker. These are Hooray brand, so it's hooray if any of them work. Right, we'll just unsolder the existing one. I'm just going to simply test them on the radio rather than go and get the crystal tester. Now, when you're doing this commercially, it's where we can save 30 seconds. So the first one we open up, we try. Miles out. Miles out. Of course, there's a possibility it's got the wrong trimmer in. So that didn't work out. So what we'll do, that doesn't mean they're all duff. You never know, is if as I have said, if that trimmer capacitor is the wrong value. So what we'll do is see what we can nick off a scrap set. Probably find an AM set. I don't think set this. Oh, that's still got one in it. Wow. I didn't expect that. Doesn't mean it works though, does it? That's not original to this set. Yeah, that looks promising. See, straight away that's 7.9 something or other. This looks like it's out of a Maxon. Now the fact we've heated that up is going to affect it. We'll put it somewhere near. It won't quite go. Oop, 111, that'll do. Won't be charging for that. We did transmit, I didn't write it down at 1.23 amps. Right, so the receiver's pretty spot on this, but we'll still go through it. And we'll start with the detector, so I'll put 100 microvolts on and put that meter away. Let's go to the oscilloscope. Put a bit of a meaningful volume level so we can actually see it. Well, on this occasion it wasn't spot on. Now that can cause the sensitivity to be less. So you can have more sensitivity when the detector's off on occasion. So that can look like you fixed it worse, but of course it would have been garbled otherwise. So we'll see how we go. So we'll go over to the SINAD meter. switch the oscilloscope off, save some electricity, and here goes. Very slight improvement on that. So considering this had been illegally modified to do 80 channels, they had never retuned the receiver, so it must have been abysmal, as predictable, on the CPT band. There we go. Probably no difference, or probably worse because of me doing the detector. So let's go back to where we were. 12 dB, and we now have 0.24. So it has improved there. For 10 dB, 0.2. For 1 dB, for 20, 0.6. And we'll just do the squelch. Need to alter that a tiny bit. That's it. So that's now 100 microvolts. And the sensitivity end to turn the squelch down. Threshold, signal generator back on. That says 1.6, so let's have another go at that. I may not have been properly on threshold. That's right. Yeah, it's still 0.3, which is where it should be. So that's that done. That's now 4. And let's now set the signal meter, banging across as it was, still banging across. Signal meter is there. That preset's a bit dirty. That's a box of fuses fallen off the shelf. Waggle that about. You know what, I'm just about there with where I guessed it to. There we are. That's it, job done. So we'll find out whether the internal speaker works. It's going to have had a slide mount, hasn't it, in the past? Hence the holes. Yeah, it works. Right, let's see what knobs we've still got and what knobs we're going to have to hunt round for. Something that's got wear on it, but it's 40 years old, isn't it? Right, we'll swap the aerial to the test gear, switch the test gear off for the actual aerial, which goes to our Antron 99. One on a Roger. Well, they're a long way off. I love living in the middle of nowhere. 19 a Roger. There we go. Actually, I'll leave it on. I'm propped up on 19. You never know, I might hear somebody. Good. Well, that's another quite difficult one, because you've got to have something to compare it with. Even service manuals aren't going to go into that much detail, so there we are. So thanks for watching another Rotel 240. I think we'll do the. We've got a Midland 3001, which I want to get out of the way. And then we'll probably do something else as well the day after. I think there's a realistic 1001 handheld coming, so I'm not going to do another Rotel 240 straight after another Rotel 240. And there we go. Thanks for watching.